So this may be a multi-part episode on the Streamlight Stylus Pro. This is the battery powered one. It's got two AAA batteries. Now, there is USB version of this product. This pocket clip is super tough. It doesn't look like it on the pictures, but it's actually very, very tough. So it has two functions. See, just you tap it or you click it. It's I don't remember the lumens. I think it was like 60 or something, but it's very bright. It lights up very large areas. This is a very powerful light for its size. That's it. You only have two functions. You have the push or the click. You either lock it in place, you push, and the locking in place actually requires quite a hard push, which is very nice because most of the time I'm just using it by pressing down and then like that. So I'm just lighting up the area real quick. So it's a solid piece. There's nothing that can unscrew from the front. This whole thing is just machined up to the top. This pocket clip is very, very tough. I haven't been able to pull this off from here either, so it's very well built. I got the AAA one instead of the USB one because I figured in my mind that this kind of light is a light that I'm going to have on me all the time. It's going to be in my pocket, in my jeans. This is my EDC flashlight. It sits so deep into your pocket. It is very, very nice to carry. It doesn't turn on very easily. It really doesn't. You need a little bit of force just to push it down, but you need a lot of force to lock it, which is a very good thing for this design. So I got the AAA one because, well, when the power grid dumps and shuts off, you're not going to be able to recharge your USB flashlights. It makes no sense. Like, so this is my USB chargeable flashlight, and this is for the sheep. So it's got like I don't remember, like 1,000. It's got like a 10,000 lumen option. It's pretty powerful, and it's got 4 other options, and then you can screw it down and open, and it'll light up a whole field. So this is to check on if the sheep are doing well or not. This is to go walking around here. This is not your EDC flashlight. The battery actually drains pretty quick on this. This is like a 60-hour battery life. 8-hour battery life or something. Yeah, it was 8 or 9 hour battery life, which is actually a lot because you're only going to be doing this, or leaving it on. But so there's no point in getting the USB one because this is sort of this is like your last ditch. What in many ways, if it's EDC flashlight you have with you all the time. I'm going through town with it. I'm going and driving around with it. So most gas stations have AAA batteries. Most places have AAA batteries. It's not actually going to be in an area or in an environment where there's going to be easy access to USB charging anyway. And then if the power grid, the electricity shuts off for a day or two, or there's like a 6-7 hour break in the night or whatever, you're anyway not going to be able to charge with the USB. And the only thing that's going to work is going to be these battery powered kind of lights. So, there's something to be said about getting the battery powered one. Now, so far, this was, I think, 40 euros from a local distributor. Excellent product. So far, after a couple days of carrying it and using it and having it with me everywhere, it's a 10 out of 10. This is very good value for money. One of the main reasons also that I got it is I'm fucking tired. I have to swear on this. Of all these different flashlight options where the buttons are around here, like, and not here. This is the best place for me, in my opinion. This is where I want all my flashlight buttons to be. For me, it's like that. You know, I want to do this. I don't want any silly little random buttons around the flashlight here. It's just not my thing. And then the worst thing is that so many modern flashlights, they have like a lock feature, they have strobe light features, they have all these different dim effect features and stuff like that. This is bare bones. This is flashlight. This is, you know, this is on or off, or permanently on or off. That's it. There's no complications. You're not gonna pull this out of your pocket and try to figure out the lock and, oh, the strobe light effect is on and you flash everybody around you. So very simple, very solid, very high quality, very good value for money, and just overall very, very pleased with this purchase. It's exactly what I wanted. If you're looking for an EDC flashlight, I can 100% recommend this. This is a 10 out of 10 so far. We'll have to see after a couple months. There's no wear on this, and I've been using it quite a lot, and I've been walking around with it a lot in my pocket. So, but we'll see again in the next episode how it's aged. But this is very solid. This feels very high quality. So my main concern is how long is the clip here? How is this going to perform over time? But I'm telling you, this is tough. This is very tough. So yeah, there it is, boys. Streamlight Stylus Pro. 10 out of 10 can recommend. Very good value for money. I think it's smart to have a flashlight that's predominantly just battery powered. Have a pack of batteries laying around, because you're not always going to be able to recharge with USB. And then in those vital situations where you need a flashlight and there's no electricity to recharge, you know, with the only thing that's going to work is whatever you can put batteries in. So definitely something to consider there. And yeah, if you want to support my work, you can go ahead and get yourself a scalpel EDC from my website, hotmetallives.com, and I'll see you guys later. So it's almost nighttime, so it's quite powerful. I'm like shining at the trees just to see, but in the close range, you see it's actually quite effective. Let's see when it gets darker. All right, it's just a little bit darker outside, so you can see it actually travels a really long way. So it's very good for a little pocket, you know, something that's really quite small and light and simple. It packs a punch. It's not like too bright, but it shines really, really far, and it shines like super clearly. So I'd say it's like a little bit more than enough light that you need. Let's go over the field here. It's not that dark yet. It's still very visible and clear outside. From this perspective, it's like a couple 100 meters, yards across. So it shines right over. You won't be able to pick it all up on the camera, but you're able to, at this sort of dim part of the day, shine the entire field with it. On the other side of the field, it might be more difficult to make out exactly what you're... It still shines quite well. It gives you light in that direction. So, you know, if there's like reflectors or something, they'll stick out. Let's wait till it gets a little darker. All right, so it's getting darker and darker. I just want to do like a sort of realistic scenario use, you know? You're just checking out. So it lights it up pretty good, you know? And here is the greenhouse. You know, maybe you forgot something in here. I mean, there's enough light where you don't really need the flashlight, but boom. What's going on in here? What's going on in here? You see, somebody's stealing the tomatoes. See? Let's go and find something. Yada yada. Very easy to use. Bright enough. Lights up the whole room. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't eat that. Don't eat that. Let's get out of here. Not bad. See, it's really like more than enough for an EDC little flashlight. So it's not actually that dark. It's pretty dark. But you can see, very effective. I think for a super slim little flashlight that fits in your pocket, this is definitely worth the price. I think it's another one of these products you're kind of getting a little bit more than what you're paying for. So this might actually be the darkest it gets tonight because there was a full moon yesterday. And now the moon isn't quite out yet, so. And that tractor's what? 55 meters away or something? You get very good visibility. So there it is. The Streamlight Stylus Pro. Remember that it's not a USB chargeable, it's battery. But there's a benefit to that because your there's going to be a moment where the power's out, the lights are out, and you might not have the ability to recharge your flashlights, and then you're left and forced to use whatever batteries you have laying around. What if you have a really, what if there's like a freak winter at your cottage and you're locked up there for a week, stuck, in the snow and stuck indoors, and all you have is, without electricity. So the only way you're going to see your way around is with whatever's battery powered anyway. It's not going to be no USB chargeable elements. So I think as like it makes sense in this like EDC pocket knife everyday carry flashlight. It makes a lot of sense because you're anyway going to be going in and out of stores all the time, past gas stations, so you're always going to have access to AAA batteries. In fact, you might even have more access to AAA batteries than you do USB charging. Maybe you don't want to use, maybe you want to charge your phone in the car instead of a flashlight. Another benefit of not having a USB port is that it's, one less thing to fail. It's, it's a solid mono construction. It's quite waterproof in that sense. It's quite shock resistant. It's quite it's quite light. It's very simple. You just have two functions, on or click on. You don't really need anything more than that. And it's blinding. It's bright enough to blind you. It's if you flash this in somebody's eyes in close range or you do this to them, it's gonna be just as effective as a lot of Surefires. Those kind of combat lights. So the fact that it doesn't have a USB charging, I think, is actually not a big deal, and it makes a lot of sense for a pocket flashlight. It makes a lot of sense, actually. This flashlight, I was pissed off because when I ordered it, I thought I read USB chargeable, and then I ordered it, and then I went to look at a review online, and then it was like, oh, I have to be careful that it's, that there's both. So I went back and I had ordered the one that was battery pack, and I was pissed off, and I was like, well, fuck. Then I received it. I got then I went to go pick it up from the post office, and I started carrying it around, and I started using it, and I started realizing, like, actually, it's probably, like, better that it's not for this particular design. This makes more sense, actually. So I'm very pleased with it. It sits in my jean pockets all the way up till there. So it's very concealable. I mean, not that it needs to be concealable, but it sits very well in your pocket. So yeah, again, I've only been using it for a couple days, but I've actually been using it a lot. I used, so, and then if I really need a proper flashlight around here, then I'll just use this, like I said earlier. Like, this is some crazy thing from, I don't even know what it's called, Energy Plus. It's not like a particularly expensive one, compared to other brands that produce similar things, but if you need to shine light over an open field to see if your cattle or your sheep are all right, you're probably not going to rely on something like this anyway, but this will be in your pocket, so if you forget this will actually work just fine. This will just, this has like the force of a fucking sun. Like, this thing will shine the entire field, and you'll see every single color and every single feature on the field and every single blade of grass. So yeah, not bad. Not bad. I'm quite pleased with this. I would say for what it is, for the price, 10 out of 10. Like, again, when I measure things like 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, it's pretty simple to get 10 out of 10, right? For something that costs $40, $50, 10 out of 10, all it means is that it's slightly exceeded your expectation and is performing better than you expected, and it's built higher quality than you were expecting. So basically, when you buy something for cheap, and if it's, you know, $50, and you know you don't have a lot of, you know, you don't have a lot of hopes for it, you're not expecting that much out of it. So 10 out of 10 just means that it's like, wow, it's actually well made. It feels good in the hand. It feels solid. It feels high quality. It performs like a real tool. You know, so basically just slightly, you know, it just slightly or greatly exceeds all of your expectations, right? That's all it needs to do to score a 10 out of 10, right? So there it is. Pretty good. I think between this that I ordered and this, like the two things that I was reviewing this week, I'm more satisfied with the quality of this and the utility of this than I am with this. These are both very good, better than expected for a, you know, a cheap, affordable EDC product. But this feels like it's better made. This feels like it's higher quality than this, just like from a basic, you know, objective like item thing, right? Perspective. I use it. I mean, actually, I use these pretty evenly, just as much as each other. But I think I think this will be more important for my use case and for everyday life than this particular one. So this was $40. This was $45. Very, you know, this is just like a side bitch to my main knife. This is like my primary EDC flashlight that I can carry with me everywhere I go. Right, it's just stuck in my pocket. I can put my pants on and go, and then if I ever need a flashlight, I actually have one. And it shines very clear light very far. Actually, you can actually go over an entire field with it. The light is well concentrated. It's a nicely designed pattern for the light. They went with the right case, and it's like up close. If you're flashing something that's white, it is slightly too, like, it does kind of fuck up your natural night vision, but it's slightly brighter than you want it to be, so that you can actually use it, you know, out extended distances. So it's like it's slightly you know, it's got enough strength, and it's got slightly more. It's got like 5-10% extra power in it than you basically need, so you know, so that it performs over distances as well. And then of course the nice thing with that is, you know, by that 5 or 10% extra power, means that in a very close range it kind of slightly blinds you if you're flashing it against something, right? You can tell it's actually quite bright. But the nice thing with that is that if you need to use it as like a force, if you need to, well, actually, let's see if I got any scratches there from doing that. Just a simple drop. No. So this is still pristine condition, not a single scratch on it over the last couple days. But yeah, so, you know, you can still use it as a deterrent. If somebody's bothering you at a night, you know, and you're out, you know, smoking a cigarette at the nightclub, and somebody's giving you a hard time, you can just say, fuck off, little bitch. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, and their eyes are going to be full of those. They're going to have a difficult and hard time to see after that. So it's a very, I'm actually very impressed with this. It definitely exceeded my expectations. The coating, I forgot the name that they use. It's very deep. Like, you feel like this is super well made. This is not a knockoff product. This is like a real, very well designed, very simple, very good value for money little flashlight that I'm very pleased with this. This is one of my favorite purchases of the whole year. I think this is definitely scores very high on the satisfaction level of things that I bought that are, you know, cheap and not expecting much from. So, because for $40, I mean, look, for $120, you can get a bracelet that's not as well made as this, and you know, like basically like shit stainless jewelry. You know, you can get yeah, like literally. So, you know, this is very, very well made. It's very, very simple. There's no unnecessary things about this. It's very well thought out. It doesn't accidentally turn on in your pocket. The switch is exactly where you want it. It just has one function. You press it, it's on. There's no messing around and trying to figure out some kind of locking mechanism, some kind of, you know, these programming features and all this kind of unnecessary like horseshit you see on so many fucking flashlights today. So, yeah, very happy with this. Yeah, very happy with this. See you guys later.